Alright. So, surprise, took me this long to make, I guess, a video just talking about everything. I guess this is a journal for myself and I guess anybody who cares to listen. So I guess this is like, I guess my COVID girl story, I guess, because it kind of just all started in COVID, so I guess I'm gonna refer to it as that. That ended pretty much like almost 4 months ago, February 17th. It is May, or no, it's June 3rd, I think. So yeah, that's over with. But yeah, I mean, it all started in, I'm just here to like get it out and just like rant about it, and I guess like kind of organize my thoughts by talking to myself. So yeah, I was always a shy guy, I guess you could say. I never really talked to girls once like high school hit. I guess I got like a lot more insecure compared to middle school, but yeah, I was pretty insecure either way. So girls were never a strong suit for me. So I have this friend. I'm gonna refer to him as, I don't know. Let's go with fucking Ben. All right. So Ben has been my best friend since middle school. Cool guy. Same, very similar interests. Helps me out a lot. Honestly, my best friend, I guess. Hang on. So yeah, like, he's gonna be very important in this whole story. So, a little bit of background on me is like I went to a Catholic school. My friend group there wasn't really tight knit. I never really had a best friend, I guess, since middle school or elementary school. I wouldn't say I had one in high school. So yeah, I never really had like a close friend. Except when he came along, I guess. But we kind of like fell out a couple times and here and there. So yeah. So start of COVID, I'm pretty much kind of, I guess in a way, begging Ben to, not really begging, but asking to help me out find a girl. So he's gay, so he kind of is already in a group of girls. So I kind of thought, hey, maybe I could shoot my chances with that. And I guess he kind of kept an open mind, but never really pursued anything, which is fair. I don't expect him to. So yeah, I kind of 2020 hit, COVID. Everyone was inside. Me and him, we were always the biking duo, so we kind of just always were out. We never really cared or anything like that. So we were always out anyway, so life didn't really change for us. It was always good fun. We went into the city a couple times. Just honestly, just enjoyed having nobody out with us, because we were kind of like the nerds. We're both into aviation and like just nerdy stuff in general, which is, it was a good time. Like 2020 was a really good year for me, considering everything. I enjoyed it a lot. There was no school, which I liked, and I kind of just like became a hardcore gamer and just biked a lot with Ben, and life honestly was really good. Honestly, like 2020 was not bad at all, and I can't really think of anything. I can't really think of anything that happened in 2020 that really would say that it's bad, that it was bad. But no, it was a good year. It was a good year. So yeah, despite it being a good year, of course, high school me, 2020, what would I have been? I would have been if we're talking about like from fall to winter into the new year, from 2020 to 2021, I would have been a senior. I was a junior when COVID started. So my junior year was really good with, hanging out with Ben and all that. So I enjoyed that. Senior year hit, it was a bunch of the same. 2020 September, kind of just hung out, did my own thing. Still wasn't going to school at the time. I didn't mind it all that much. yeah, and just did a bunch of, stuff that I enjoyed. I used to be really into history, so I would play Hearts of Iron 4 with my group, which we called the Hearts of Iron Gang. Let's see. There might be a couple pauses because I'm trying to think. Yeah, I mean, 2020 was good, because I was always I was kind of always like I wouldn't say a loner, but I've always been a very introverted person. I've never been really out there. That's obviously going to change. We're going to get to that, but yeah, I've always been kind of an introverted person. So, oh man, no. Something I didn't forget to mention, which is very important to this story, which I can't believe I forgot. So yeah, 2019 to 2020, really. I kept bugging Ben, oh man, I want a girlfriend, this, that. He names a couple people, but like I never pursue anything because I'm introverted, I'm shy, I'm kind of a bitch. So 2020 hits, I forgot when, February, March, around there. I start talking to this girl. We're gonna name her, I don't know, Betty. So, initially I could never talk to her. She was Ben's friend, pretty much one of his best friends. And so I started talking to her because she said that she found me cute. Over, like, we were FaceTiming. I remember he and her were at a birthday party together, and he FaceTimed me, and we talked, and she said that I was cute. So past that, she forgets about it. I kind of do the same. I didn't think much would, come from it. Until Ben really kind of pushes it a little bit more, and he pushes me to message her and add her. And he also, kind of like relays that info to her as well. So initially he talked for me. He was always like, he kind of like was pretending to be me initially, like, oh hey, remember me, la 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 la, this that. But then I leave his house, which is where we initially did it, and I was shy as hell. Eventually I started to message her myself. And yeah, we just got to talking during the late winter to early spring of 2020. And then around mid-spring of 2020, she just eventually kind of falls off and ghosts me. I guess I didn't really think that much of it. I wasn't that hurt, but I kind of got bummed out, because I thought it was my fault. So that kind of hurt a lot, actually. But it's like, what can I do about it? I didn't really have a connection with this girl, but yeah, it kind of sucked. So, I mean, eventually I got over it. It kind of hurt a little bit, but I kind of got over, I forgot what I was saying, Betty or Debbie or whatever, Betty. And I kind of just like went on my life, hung out with Ben most of the summertime. 2020 went by without much really going on, and that I can remember at least. And then 2021 hit. And then my birthday came up, and she remembered my birthday, so she messaged me on my birthday, pretty much just saying, I think, happy birthday. And then I guess through that we kind of got to talking again, and yeah, we kind of just started hitting it up again. And this time it was a little bit more, there was a lot more intention behind this chat. We kind of had a feeling like, hey, listen, like, let's, I guess it was like like we didn't talk about it, but like, I guess we kind of both knew, like, we were kind of just talking like friends back in 2020, spring of 2020. And with now, there was like an intention behind it, to probably get together, and that would develop over the months as we talked. So on my birthday, January 10th, we started talking back up again. And yeah, we just got to talking. I had Ben as the mediator because Ben was still in contact with both. She gave the reason that she just didn't want to catch feelings. So I kind of just like, I kind of agreed to it. Ben said the same, so I kind of gave her the benefit of the doubt, because I kind of was a little bit desperate feeling at the moment, or in the time, because I never had a girl really pursue me like that, or really like take the effort out to try to be with me, I guess. So I kind of gave her the benefit of the doubt, which I don't regret that, to be honest. Like, people have their reasons, and yeah. So we talk, a lot more intention this time. And then, we get to like calling, like FaceTime and talking on there and stuff. And, eventually, obviously, yeah, hey, you know what? We've known each other for X amount of, months. We've been talking for pretty much almost a year, I guess, if you want to be specific, snapping at bare minimum. We should at least meet, Of course, I'm shy. I'm still the shy guy. Nothing really changes. I'm, like, bad, Like, I kind of avoided initially, I guess, because I didn't want her to, like, see what I look like. Because I've always been insecure about my looks, so I didn't want her to see what I look like, and then like, I guess, be turned off by that and just like not want to see me again, or just kind of like taper everything off, because I had like a lot of hope, and I was hoping that it would work out. But yeah, eventually I kind of, I got my license, a bit, yeah, I got my license, so I had a car at the time. So I drove to this park called Firefighters Park, and she was there with her friend, her best friend. I'm gonna refer to her as her best friend, Betty's best friend, also a friend of Ben's. So they're kind of all in a group there. So I show up, and obviously, first meeting, it's pretty awkward, but we talk here and there, and it's it begins to slowly flow, I guess. Yeah, I couldn't tell if she really wanted to be there, because she kind of like almost ran away one time with her friends. So I was like, this is a failure, But then I guess we get back to talking, thankfully, and so it was pretty awkward, but we get back to talking, and eventually, me and her kind of just like walk away, we're by ourselves, and we're just talking, and we go up by her school. She lives in the next town over, so we just get to talking, and we go by her school. We're like, it's like almost like hide and seek, from both of Ben and her best friend. So that was a fun memory, I guess. We were hiding behind like a shed or something, And eventually Ben, he texts me, and he's like, hey, I don't know where you guys are. Just call us if you need it. And he's always like there for me, so he's always out to help me, and I'll get to that too. There's another story that goes with that, but yeah. So we talk. That's our first meeting, and it goes pretty well, I'd say. Didn't really go bad or anything like that, clearly. So eventually we would meet up again. And this second meeting was about 2 weeks later, and more of her friends were there. Pretty much all Ben's friends too, because he's the gay one in the group. I guess that's kind of just how it works. So yeah, I kind of meet all of them, but I'm really, really shy. So that really came out. And I remember Ben telling me, like, yo, like, they think you're weird, like, you gotta stop being so damn shy. And I think I fucked something up, But me and Betty, we kind of, like, we talk more. There was one time that I hope that I don't forget, I'll never forget, is like, I was choking on water, because I guess it went down the wrong pipe, and it was like really bad, and she gave me like her water, and pretty much, I guess, in a way saved me, and she kind of teased me about that, and I thought that was really sweet. And so we kind of, on that day too, we kind of just walked around the big park that's there in their town. So I kind of just walk around that park with her, and we just talk also to get, I guess, alone time in a way. But it was a good hangout. And then towards the end, I kind of just walked with her and because all of her friends were walking back towards Ben's house in a way, I guess, because that's where they were all, I guess, gonna leave and go their all separate ways. So yeah, we all walked to Ben's house, and she asked to like hug me, because I guess it's like awkward, I don't know, but I remember her asking if she can hug me, and I said yeah, sure, and we hugged. I don't remember if she said like, oh, you're a good hugger or something maybe along those lines, but I'm not sure. So no, yeah, that was good. So yeah, we just walk back. I remember we went by this, like, I guess it was near a fire station. I remember by Ben's house, all of us in a group, and like for some reason, I guess in a way, because I guess she wanted to hold my hand, so she kind of playfully was like, oh, let's do like this TikTok dance, which I don't know if you guys remember back in 2021, like the dance where you would like hold each other's hands and like crisscross them across. And I think we tried to do that dance, and I guess for her it was just an excuse to hold my hand, and I figured that out later after messaging her, which thinking back is just I guess it's a really sweet, innocent moment, which I guess I'm very grateful to have. Then so that was that hangout. Afterwards, I felt really stupid because Ben was telling me about like how everyone thinks I'm kind of like, all of our friends think I'm kind of weird because I was too shy to talk to them or even say hi. Like, I was pretty awkward. It was pretty bad, honestly. I can't even blame them. So I made it my mission to like try my best not to be awkward. So yeah, I tried on that. Then that ends. I hang out with Ben a bit more. Then eventually I go my way and go home, and then start messaging her. And we talk pretty much every day at this point. Yeah. So then then the third ever hangout I remember was a picnic with her friends, and yeah, her friends and Ben. Ben has almost pretty much always been there, which is kind of a good thing. He's always been there, like, so I know I have a familiar face to go to if I need it. But yeah, so we go to this picnic, and it's nice. Yeah, it was a good picnic. I also just hung out with her friends, Ben. I was a lot more social that time. So when we went on a walk afterwards the picnic, because obviously me and her, I guess we wanted some time to talk and be alone. I forgot who asked, but somebody asked if we can hold hands. I think it was her. She initiated a lot, because again, I was the shy, introverted kind of pussy. So she probably initiated saying, hey, we can hold, like, if you want, we can hold hands or something like that. So we did that, and I remember she took a picture on her phone or something about that. Yeah, so kind of just held hands going back to their group. And then we kind of sat down. I remember there's a video probably still on my phone somewhere that I just really can't look at right now, of us under a blanket, and it was kind of just like, it was an innocent moment, kind of just like, just playing around. There was nothing going on. We were just playing around, and everybody outside was like, ooh, and I remember that. So that was a sweet moment. The picnic was good, kind of just a chill, I was a lot more social. They liked me a lot more. And I look at there's a picture I saw back then, and it was really bad. I don't know how, like, she ever thought I was attractive. But yeah, that ends, and as we're all heading back to the cars, she was going with her friends, and I was gonna go, and I was driving Ben around, so we were gonna go together back. She I remember her asking like if she could, like, or I think she was like, hey, can you like close your eyes or something and like stop real quick. I forgot exactly how it went, but then she like kissed me on the cheek, and I thought that was really sweet. And then we go our separate ways, and I'm pretty hyped up. So I'm like with Ben, and I'm kind of just like, yo, this, that, la 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 la. So that was a really good day, and I remember her telling me that her friends were that she told her friends that she kissed me on the cheek, and they were like, oh my god, you didn't even kiss him on the face, la 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 la. And yeah, I thought that was pretty funny, but I was like, hey, you know what, take your time. I have no experience either. So I thought that was really sweet. Yeah, so still more talking. We're always talking. And then the fourth hangout, I remember, I can't remember the date exactly. I want to say it was sometime in April, before I think we became official, but it was sometime in April, where we all were on bikes. So it was kind of a group biking session, and it was fun. We just biked around, just chilled out. So as we were biking, I think we went to the reservoir. There's a reservoir near where we all live, and it's just like really nice for views and stuff. So we biked over there, and me and her kind of get to like talking, and she's like with me, I guess, like resting her head in my lap, which is something that she did also in the third hangout, which I thought was really cute. She would do like a lot of cute gestures like every time we would hang out, and yeah, no, I always thought they were really nice. But what I remember most from this fourth hangout was we would be biking, and me and Ben were skilled bikers, so we would always go fast, and the two ladies would be behind and kind of slacking, but it was a good time. And then we went to the reservoir. Then at the reservoir, I don't really remember all that much, but me and her were kind of just like, with each other. And I guess at some point, I was wearing a hoodie. She wasn't at the time. Or maybe she was wearing a hoodie. I don't remember. But I think we both had our hoods on. And we kind of just like, she was like resting her head in my lap. And I kind of just like looked down at her. And I guess she was like looking up at me. And our like hoodies, I guess, were like kind of like just like really, our hoodies kind of like formed like a seal between us. And so we kind of just like stared at each other for like a really long period of time. Could have been like 5-10 minutes. And the other two, Ben and her best friend, were kind of like, hey, it's probably time to get out of here. So they kind of went their own way, but we kind of just stayed there in that position. I guess I was kind of just like staring at her, and she was staring back at me. It was like, it felt really deep. Like thinking back on it, it felt really like a deep moment. Like obviously, like that would have been the point to kiss her, but I never did because pussy, and that comes up. That's gonna come up a lot. But yeah, so I would. We didn't do anything, and then eventually, I guess, we got up and we kind of like moved spots, and eventually she found herself, I think our friends came back, and I was like, oh, never mind, there goes that. There goes any chance of getting kissed, I guess. But somehow she ended up stuck in a tree in the reservoir. It wasn't a very big tree. It was just like kind of one of those trees that you could just, kind of plump yourself in. And so she was there, and she was stuck, and I was like, oh my god, like, what'd you do? La la la. Just kind of like poking fun at her, in a playful way. And she was like, close your eyes, and I'm like, okay. And she just like kisses me there, and and that's like my first kiss, so it's like, it's kind of deep in me, I guess. That kind of moment is pretty deep in me, and it's just like everything leading up to that moment, I guess, is just really sweet. And so after that, she's still stuck in the tree, so I have to help her out. So I help her out, and we all back in our group, and eventually we just start heading out. we start heading back to go home, back to our houses. But we're on bikes, so we have to bike anyway. So we're biking back. She has to be home quick, because I guess it was like a certain time that her parents wanted her home, because she has strict parents. So she biked straight home, and I initially didn't know what to do. So I was like, But then her best friend was like, go with her. And so, if her best friend says go with her, it's kind of a good sign to go with her. So I did. So I pretty much just like raced to catch up to her. We biked together. She's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm just here to bike with you. She's like, okay. And so we're just biking back to her house, and she's like, stop here. Because I guess she didn't want her family to see me. So I stopped there. She kind of like leaves me because she lives close by, but she didn't want to get caught. And she gives me a kiss again, and that's the end of the fourth hangout. But it's probably best to mention about her family. Her family, they never knew about me and her, no matter what. They knew I existed, but they didn't know to the extent of which I was with her. So yeah, they never knew. So she kind of always kept it a secret. So her mom is a social worker still, which is going to be important in the future. Her mom's a social worker. Her dad, I believe, is an electrician, but he's kind of works on and off depending on the demands. Her uncle does something with finance, I believe. I think he's an accountant. She lives with her grandma and her cousin also. Yeah. So they never knew. But that's the end of the fourth hangout, and it ended in a kiss, so I was super happy biking back. And so when we still talked after that. Fifth hangout, I believe, was by ourselves. And I think during that hangout, I think we wanted to experiment a little bit more, so it was kind of just like, it was quite a bit of making out. Making out by the 7-Eleven, kind of just kissing, kind of just, I don't know, enjoying it, enjoying the connection that I think we both had at the time, which was nice, And then it was also around that time that eventually she asked me to I never brought it up because I never knew a good point to, but to like actually ask her out, so I did it over text because I'm a weenie. It was at 10 a.m. on April 15th, I believe, around that time and around that date. And it was that date, actually, of 2021. So after that, we became a couple. We began to hang out by ourselves more often, kind of just chilling, not really knowing what to do all that much. But we would go to the mall here and there. We would just do our own thing, just kind of just chill, be in each other's presence, the honeymoon phase type of thing. And that went great, eventually we would get a little bit more, I guess, physical. And there were some things that she kind of showed off initially, that were, to be fair, all my first. So, I never saw these things before. So, it was a new experience. It was her first time ever showing anything. So it made me feel a little bit special in a way too. It kind of hurts now. Yeah, I mean, it was just like a very physical attached summer. Spent a lot of time together. Spent a lot of time, I guess, going to certain places. I think we went to go see a movie at the time. I can't really remember what we did, but we were a couple at the time. It was great. Towards August, I guess the physical got a little bit more upgraded in a way, I guess you could say. Of course, we never really did anything to that top extent because I was always insecure, and I think honestly that's a reason why everything ended. And I can't really blame her if that's what she wanted. So yeah, 2021 goes by. 2022. Trying to think here. 2022 starts. My birthday. Great birthday. She's in school at this point. She began in September. of 2021 to go back into high school because COVID. I guess that everyone was it was a lot more, lenient with it. So she went back into school in person, and it didn't matter. She would still send me, snaps and messages, and her friend would also, and her friends began to, they all liked me at the time, I believe, which was great. Having the support of her friends and especially her best friend is always a good sign. So 2021 goes along, and it's pretty good. She's in school. We would always go out for lunches on some days. We would make time for each other. And yeah, so then my birthday comes by. I had a great birthday. She made it really great. 2022. I mean, the war started in Ukraine. We were still very close to each other. 1 year anniversary went by without a problem. Yeah, her birthday came by. I remember paying for her because her gift card didn't work. Me and Ben both paid for it. And it was a good time. Summer 2022 was also pretty good. Again, our relationship revolved around a lot of physical activity, I guess you could say, in a way. We were always usually physical with each other. To be fair, we never really did all that much together, like going out and seeing things, I guess, which I regret. Experiencing things together, not just, doing things together. So summer 2022 goes by. She graduates. I also graduated, but in 2021, June. She graduates in 2022, going to NJIT. And she's, summer was great. We spent time together. She kind of reiterated the point, like, hey, I might not be able to spend as much time with you because of school, la la la, which is fair, I might be missing a few things, but this is just a rough idea. She starts school September, October go by, no problems. I don't see any issues. Then November 2nd, she breaks up with me over text after kind of being cold for a week or so. Pretty much citing, listen, I'm not happy. And she said why. The reason, to be fair, was valid, but it really hurt at the moment because she never told me anything about it, or at least she was never direct. If she did anything, it was always just signs, but there was nothing ever directly said to me that I could have changed, but I really regret it. So that was a really, really hard month for me. But we never really spent more than a week without talking to each other, even broken up. So yeah, eventually we would start to hang out, and before we really got back together, there was one really long hug after a hangout. That she would touch my back, my hair, the back of my head, and run her hand or run her finger down my back. I thought it was kind of weird, but I thought that was just the way she shows affection, so I never thought really much of it. But she cried afterwards, I guess, regretting everything. So yeah, she was like, do you want to try to work things out? And I was like, sure. So we got back together December. First hangout after we pretty much, I guess, got back together. We made out in the movie theater watching the movie Devotion, which I don't really remember all that much of. But we did that. And yeah, December went by fun. I was always kind of skeptical at first, but then as January hit, I kind of got comfortable again. January went by, my birthday passed, no issues. Then February started when she kind of was starting to go back to school for her spring semester. She started to get cold again, and so I kind of knew something was up. So I guess I kind of had a feeling in the back of my head, because she wasn't acting usual. So but I mean, there's not much I can do without looking like a weirdo. So I kind of just like ignored it. But they were pretty significant signs. So on February 17th, she broke up with me after Valentine's Day. She didn't even hang out with me on Valentine's Day. She asked me to go if she could go hang out with her friends on Valentine's Day, which I agreed. Probably something I shouldn't have agreed to be fair. But it's pretty fucked up now thinking about it. And you know, her reason for breaking up in November, by the way, is like, I don't want to get into that, but I somewhat understand it. But yeah. So yeah, we broke up. Broke up over reasons she said like we just weren't compatible. And I guess that's fair and all, but you know, it's like it hurt because it was again like no warning or anything like that. And for certain, I don't believe her saying that, oh, it's not gonna work out, this and that. You know, after 2 years, I don't know, I don't believe it. So she probably has another reason. But yeah, it was a hard time for me. I was like, you know what, listen, I need counseling. Like, I need to talk to people about this because if this is it, I don't want to have the same issues that I had in November where I was just crying constantly. You know, wondering if she even cared, you know. So I kind of got a bit of counseling. Her mom worked at the same company, not the same building. I didn't know that. And her mom, who didn't know we were together but knew that I existed and probably was her friend, told her that I was in counseling for a breakup. And she thought it would be kind of wrong to not share that with me. So she messaged me saying, hey, listen, like, you know, why are you there, la 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 la. And so I explain it, and we kind of like talk about the breakup a little bit. We start talking again, and we hang out twice for just like whatever reasons, you know. That stuff's not important, but it's more the fact that she knew that I had problems, you know, and her mom told her, which is, you know, a breach of HIPAA and pretty fucked up. But yeah, eventually she kind of would just go cold on me because I was still pretty attached and clingy. You know, all of this, like, I'm starting the gym and trying to, like, you know, become a better version of myself as much as I can possibly, you know. Yeah, I mean, so, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, I wonder what that cop's doing. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, like, that's what I'm really doing. I mean, yeah, I mean, I've been grinding the gym. I'm in flight school, so I've been trying to do more of that. Should probably head out before this cop thinks I'm gonna do something, but yeah, I mean, that's how it ended, really, and it just hurts, you know, because I did all this stuff for this girl, and like that's all I get, you know. But there's not much I can do about it, I guess. So, but it sucks. Somebody that you spent that much time with, you know, and I guess I hope that she doesn't forget me, because that would kind of hurt. So that's my biggest fear right now is like, how can you forget your first boyfriend, you know, because I'm never going to forget her. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, we haven't talked since April 1st. I ended it because I didn't want to talk to her, really. So, yeah, we just stopped talking, and yeah, ever since I've kind of just been a bit of a mess, I guess. You know, now I'm trying to fix myself. I'm trying to fix my looks, my acne, my you know, my weight, because it kind of went off when I was with her, and you know, now I'm kind of just like a hopeless romantic. You know, today I punched a wall and I fucked up my fingers kind of badly. I wanted to fuck up my fingers. I wanted to feel fucking pain, you know. I was yelling at God. I was telling him why, like, fuck you, like, why would you do this to me? You know what I mean? Like, you gave me somebody that, like, I felt so comfortable with, and then you took them away. Like, what the fuck? You know? And I still think that. What the fuck? You know? But, you know, I'm never gonna forget her. But I don't know if she will, and it really, like, fucks with my head, I guess. You know, because she moved on already, from what I've heard. So it's like, it's pretty messed up, I guess. I don't really know. But yeah, it's like, I don't know. You don't want to ever be forgotten, you know, especially when you share that many memories with somebody. You know, you don't want to be forgotten. So I don't know. Maybe I'll find some at some point, but yeah, right now I'm on a drive, just chilling and thinking and listening. So yeah, I mean, I'm still talking to counselors, but we'll see how that goes. And I'm still talking to Ben, thank God. But yeah, because nothing ever changed with that. He's always my best friend. So wow, this is 41 minutes. Damn. I mean, that's all I really got. I mean, if anything, I'll just make a revised version of this with a bit more detail, or you know, really think about things. But that's all I really got for now. I'm not sure if I want to post this or not, but maybe I'll just unlist it. Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess thanks for listening.